Welcome, greetings, everybody, to the Tuesday edition of Burn It Down with Kim Brown. This is the safe space where we set oppression ablaze, burn it all down, down, fire, fire, more fire. Yes, yes, yes. Welcome, everybody, to the program. I'm so happy and excited and appreciative that you all made some time to come kick it with your homie. You could have been anywhere in the world tonight, but you came here to rock with me, and I love you all two pieces for that. Thanks to everybody, and we've got a good show coming up in store for you. You guys know, I mean, yeah, I talk about shit that matters to me. So sometimes the topics I select are not sexy topics. It's not sexy. It's not sexy to talk about climate change. It's not sexy to talk about the ways in which infrastructure and by extension, I guess, suppose society is collapsing within on itself because of capitalism. But capitalism is also hastening the climate disasters and catastrophes that we're seeing. And across the country, between the flooding that happened in upstate New York and in New England and in Pennsylvania to the heat dome, as they call it, the sweltering, fatal heat wave that has been gripping the West and Southwest and in the South. And I got to tell you guys, your politicians in DC are not sympathetic. They are not experiencing. I'm telling you, the temperatures in Washington this summer have been so temperate. It has not been the usually sweltering, deeply humidified, oppressive summer heat. It's been nice. We've actually had a nice summer. And I think that sometimes that impacts the lack of urgency that comes out of Washington. Anyway, we're going to get to that because this shit is a massive problem. But most importantly, the most vulnerable. That's probably why my shit don't get good views because I talk about the most vulnerable. Like we talk about the unhoused people and how unhoused people are faring during these excruciating extreme weather events and how policy decisions could help ameliorate some of the suffering that people are enduring. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that in just a bit. But first, let me give out some shout outs. What's going on, everybody? Shout out to Nat A. Thank you, Nat, for being the first in here. What's going on? Who is that? I can't fucking read. Hold on. What's up, Tyler? What's up, my son? There go Vesper. All right. Hey, who is that? Silberg? What's up, Silberg? Come through. Good to see you in here. What's up, Latif? Come through. Great to see you in here. What's up to Holly? What's up, Franny Francais? What's up, Damien? What's up, 40J Blaze? That's what I'm saying. I love to see y'all week in and week out because you all give me validation. How could I hate white people when the whites come over and support? How could I hate the mans when the mans show up? Now, thank you all. You go spread the word. Go tell my haters out here that they got me fucked up. I love everybody. Well, except the racists and the fucking abusers. But if you're not a racist or abuser, you are right with me. And look at my folks showing up. I love that. Hey, Anna, what's going on, sweetheart? What's up? Holly, what's going on? What's going on? So, I'm gonna run through this show, y'all. I'm ready. I got some things I need to take care of, but let's go ahead and get started because the first story I have is a bit of an update, but it's going to be an ongoing series of updates regarding a story that we first brought you here last year, this time last year. You guys don't forget to like give the video a like and a thumbs up. It involves the murder of a Baltimore motorist by the name of Timothy Reynolds, 48 years old. Timothy Reynolds, you guys might remember the story. Tim Reynolds was driving through downtown Baltimore and had some sort of confrontation with squeegee workers. If you're not familiar with squeegee workers in Baltimore, it is a generational thing that young kids, usually impoverished black children, will stand at some of the more heavily traveled intersections in downtown Baltimore and give motorists windshield a cleaning. This is a thing. Okay, this shouldn't be a shock to anybody coming in and out of the city. This is how these kids hustle up some money. They have been criminalized for this behavior, and it's not even fucking behavior. I don't see what's the difference between these kids with a lemonade stand out in the suburbs and these city kids cleaning people's windshields with squeegees, but I digress. So an incident that took place last summer, motorist Timothy Reynolds parked his car, ran across 4 lanes of traffic with a baseball bat to attack a group of teens. Okay, to attack a group of teen squeegee workers. One of the teens allegedly retrieved a gun and shot Tim Reynolds dead in the street. And now this child, who is now 16, was 14 at the time of the incident, is charged with first degree murder and is being charged as an adult. You guys know I have thoughts, feelings, and opinions about that. But yesterday was jury selection, and I want us to get caught up because through the conclusion of this trial, this will be a topic on this program until this shit is wrapped up. But we're gonna go to WBAL for the package. And they're gonna give us the package, the background. But I have a couple more details that I want to add to the information presented by this reporter. So let's take a look.
No comment from the family of victim Timothy Reynolds as they exited the Mitchell courthouse on Monday, accompanied by their lawyer after observing pretrial motions before jury selection got underway.
Look, the family is so grateful for all of the outpouring of support from the community. This is a hard day. It's a hard day for everyone. There are no winners in a case like this.
The start of the trial comes just days after the one-year anniversary of Reynolds' death. He was 48 years old and had 3 children, and the state says he was gunned down at the intersection of Light and East Conway streets. The defendant, 16-year-old Tavon Scott, was a 14-year-old Squeegee worker at the time. He's being charged with first-degree murder, and he is being tried as an adult. In court filings, prosecutors have alleged that the defendant was affiliated with a gang, that he allegedly confessed, and that DNA and ballistics evidence prove he's guilty. Outside of circuit court, supporters of the defendant were visible and vocal.
We feel it's in the wrong court. We feel he should be tried in juvenile court. We feel that it has not, the young man's side have never been told.
The teen's legal team today hinted at strategies and arguments we may see over the next several days. That the shooting was in self-defense, that Tavon Scott was and is just a child, and that the victim was the aggressor. Does anyone think a 14-year-old and a 43-year-old should be held to the same standard? J. Wendell Gordon said. In this case, there was one adult. His judgment left a lot to be desired. In court today during the proceedings, the trial judge said this case is scheduled to end on Tuesday, July 25th, but she said she expects it to conclude before that. This trial does resume here tomorrow morning, and the jury will hear opening statements. Live outside the Mitchell courthouse, I'm Kate Amara, WBAL TV 11 News.
So that was what happened Monday in court. Here's some additional reporting from the NPR affiliate in Baltimore, WYPR. They go on to say that it's been a little over a year since the incident, but that didn't stop Assistant State's Attorney Cynthia Banks from pushing for a postponement because of an evidentiary mishap. Judge Jennifer Sheffer decided against postponing the case. Speaking outside the courthouse to reporters, J. Wendell Gordon, who is the defense attorney, told reporters that he was, quote, elated when the judge decided against the delay. Quote, if it had gotten postponed today, then we would be waiting until 2024 to go to trial. And this doesn't require that, he said. So they did select a jury. They were able to seat a jury, according to this reporting, at the 11th hour. 12 jurors and 4 alternates were selected. And amongst some of the questions that they asked jurors had to do with their experience and their feelings regarding squeegee workers. It says the incident fueled the city's long debate regarding squeegee workers, teens looking to make a quick buck by providing a service, or criminals, or what? Or criminals who extort and damage property. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Let me read that again. It said they characterize these squeegee workers as teens looking to make a quick buck by providing a service, or criminals who extort and damage property. What? What is this? WYPR. It did say a number of the potential juror pool actually did stand up when asked whether they had strong feelings, positive or negative, about squeegee workers. And this is going to be a divisive trial. And as you heard there in the reporting, that the judge expects this trial to wrap up by July 25th, which is just several days away. All right, guys, you guys know I have big feelings about this. First of all, it is very unfortunate that somebody lost their life. It is more unfortunate that this person decided to exit their car, Tim Reynolds, that is, decided to exit his car armed with a bat, cross 4 lanes of traffic, and approach a group of children with violence. Okay. Now, I know, and you guys know, that Black children and teens are not seen as kids, right? The kid was 14. Tavon was 14 when this happened. Do you think Tim Reynolds, a big fucking adult at 48, viewed these kids as kids? You think he would have approached a group of white 14-year-olds wielding a bat? Doubtful. Doubtful. And it is shameful that the state's attorney's office has decided to prosecute this child. You heard one of the supporters say that this is being tried in the wrong court. This is a kid. He's 16 now. He's 14 when it happens. I need to know how this is not a juvenile justice type of case. For him to be charged as an adult and charged with first-degree murder, I need to know who's on the jury pool, man. I hope everybody who was registered to vote and eligible to serve on the jury in Baltimore got their jury notices and showed the fuck up, because I'm really curious who's going to be on this jury. This is going to be divided amongst working and poor Baltimoreans, Black and white, and those who feel as though the squeegee kids are a nuisance. They don't view the behavior and the efforts of the squeegee kids as those born out of necessity, out of desperation, out of lack. I don't know. And I know some people who are former squeegee kids. All of them say that they had to go out there and hustle. They went out there and were squeegee workers in lieu of selling drugs. You know what I'm saying? They said, I can get this money out here interacting with drivers, doing the squeegee, whatever, instead of selling drugs, instead of robbing people. Like, this is an alternative work endeavor that these kids do to not result to so-called street behavior, right? And do the kids get rewarded? Do they get rewarded for this ingenuity, for this entrepreneurship? No, they get that behavior criminalized. Kids can be criminally cited if they are caught engaging in squeegee work. They're trying to push the kids to I think it's called the Baltimore Works program. The fuck? That shit pay, Will might know. Will, what the Baltimore Works program pay an hour? Is it 10? Is it 12? Even if it was 20, it's far less than what the kids can make out there on the corner, standing out there at 395 and Conway Street. Come on now. Come on. But so this is my concern though. Okay, so we've already seen that what the state's attorney's hand is. They don't give a fuck that he's 14. They don't give a fuck that this person, the victim, was the aggressor in this. No, because in the state of Maryland is not a stand your ground state. That is very, very important. If this had happened in a stand your ground state, well, because of the racial dynamics, the kid probably would have been charged anyway. But because Maryland is not a stand your ground state, in the state of Maryland, you have a duty to retreat, right? If you can get away from a situation, that's what they in Maryland they want you to walk away, right? They want you to leave the situation. You have a duty to retreat unless you are in your home, right? Then you're protected by the castle doctrine. That is my big concern, because as I understand it, and I guess the facts will be made more clear as the trial goes along, as I understand, when the victim, Mr. Reynolds, approached the group of teen squeegee workers, Tavon allegedly went to retrieve his gun out of a book bag that was a distance away, a block, I don't know, at the end of the block. I don't fucking know where it was. And that is where the premeditation comes in. I think the state is going to argue that between the time that he saw Mr. Reynolds approaching aggressively, ready to attack, somehow the 14-year-old was supposed to have adult presence of mind to not want to defend himself and his comrades. The 14-year-old was supposed to know better. The 14-year-old was supposed to know better. Again, the state mirroring society and not viewing our children as children. The 14-year-old was supposed to know that he had a duty to retreat. Get the fuck out of here. These kids tote guns, again, sometimes out of necessity, sometimes for other reasons, but I would assume if you go to Baltimore, most people are carrying guns. Well, let me digress. And that man, Tim Reynolds, he should have absolutely known that. And again, I feel some sympathy for him because I'm an empathetic person. I can put myself in the shoes of another human. This man was a husband. He had a family. He left behind a number of people, but he should have thought about all that before he parked his car, popped his trunk, and ran across the fucking road. You understand? Like there is some responsibility here that the victim absolutely has for what the outcome was, right? And I'm assuming that the state just thinks that these kids should have allowed themselves to be attacked. They didn't have a legal right to self-defense. I will be so devastated and disappointed if this child is found guilty. If this child is found guilty. If this child is found guilty. This child didn't start this incident. This child didn't initiate this incident. This child responded to a very active threat that was being posed to them by an adult with a weapon. If the racial roles were reversed, guys, y'all know what you already know what it is. I'm sorry. Do you think a black man wielding a baseball bat could run up on a group of white teens, and should that aggressive attacking black man with a baseball bat be shot by one of those white teens, you think the white kid would face any charges? Of course not. Of course not. He had to put him down, right? What's up, Will?
My bad. I just wanted to say, they banned Squeegee in a bunch of spots too, so they ain't got to worry about that.
What does that do? That doesn't change these kids' situation. It just moves them out of sight, right?
Yeah, and people still do it.
They should still do it. I mean, I'm conflicted about the fact that there is a need to even go out and squeegee in the first place, right?
Yeah,
I mean, these kids know what time it is. They stand a better chance of getting a little bit of money than they do going to fucking Baltimore schools. No disrespect to the teacher on the line, but you understand what I'm saying.
yeah. No, you right. It's fuck everybody when it comes to the schools. Everybody, the students, staff, all that. But also too, I had some experience. I was working with Youth Works.
Youth Works, thank
Yeah,
you.
last summer,
Tell
and
the people real quick what Baltimore Youth Works is.
so it's like a placement program for teenagers during the summer. So they place you at just random. They could place you on the side of the road. Like there's some kids that do shit like that, and but I've been in spaces where it's like I had a teacher's assistant one. Like I'm working now with a teacher's assistant. Youth Works. They all youth workers. It's like 10 of them, 11 of them. But I was just saying that too. That last summer they didn't pay them on time, so they working a whole month and didn't even get paid on time. So it's like even if the city is supplying, like, oh yeah, we're gonna pay you, because that's what Youth Works is designed to give, kids something to do.
Summer
With
job
teenagers,
program.
yeah, it's like but it's like older. It's probably to like 20 something, like
Oh,
23,
okay.
something like
Mhm.
that. It's so, but it's like high school from there. So it helps a lot of kids, but also they don't be treating them right. It's just really like some bodies for real. For real. It's like it's just some extra labor.
If they're only getting paid once a month or not getting paid with regularity, how is it helping the kids? I guess it's a resume builder, but goddamn, they might as well be interns. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
what is the wage? Do you know?
I don't know what the wage is. But we had to, what was it? We had to make sure they contracts and all that stuff like that was straight last year. This year it was like less hands on that type of stuff. But Yeah, I don't know how much you get paid, but like I said, that one time that I dealt with it, it was like y'all wasn't even getting paid on time, and then the setting that we was in was not the best. You know,
Okay,
it
you
was
can't
crazy.
be coming on my show with shit playing in the background. Get off of here, man.
Yo, that
Get out
what
of
you mean playing?
here.
These motherfucking kids.
Oh, that's children? That's the
Yeah,
sound of
that's
actual kids?
outside.
I thought that was the TV.
Close the window. My bad, damn.
My bad, Will.
Yo,
Come on, Will. Will, if I can't give the mandem a hard time, what is my purpose? What is my even reason for living? If I can't give men
yo.
a hard time, even
Every time
men I like, I give them a hard time. I'm sorry.
I get on the mic, you be like, "Yo, turn whatever TV you got down." I'm like, "You want me turn outside
Turn
down?" Like,
outside off, man. Outside is too Latin. I'm just fucking
I
with you.
live in the hood. People outside.
Well, good. I'm glad they
It's
outside.
too hot though, so I don't know.
It's perfect outside, sir. It is gorgeous outside, what your day saying. Thank you for that insight, Will.
Yeah,
I
my bad, my
appreciate
bad.
that. Yes. No,
Peace,
no,
y'all.
no.
Peace,
Thank
y'all.
you.
Back
Thank
to
you,
the show.
Will. No, because you guys, Will knows. Will has been working with kids in Baltimore for some time. He has familiarity not only with the school system but with some of these programs as well. And as you heard there, straight from the horse's mouth, sometimes these kids in these programs don't even get paid in a timely fashion. But you know who do get fucking paid on time with overtime and benefits and all kinds of shit? The fucking cops. That story I brought you guys last week about the mass shooting in Baltimore, to my surprise, the local Baltimore media is still riding the cops' ass about that shit. But of course, when it comes to policies and trying to keep police accountable, no, 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 no. The Baltimore City Council is focused on the wrong shit. Now they're focusing on what to do about unpermitted mass gatherings, about unpermitted events. And it's like, you do know people was calling the police for 4 hours before the police decided to show up after the mass shooting had already taken place. But even here, even with this example, it's the police weren't there to protect these kids from this would-be attacker. And the police are there to criminalize these children. Will is right. They did ban squeegeeing in certain places because the whole purpose, like the squeegee kids are an embarrassment to the black bourgeoisie and the black political class of Baltimore. The fact that these kids are out here, quote unquote, trying to make an honest buck, a legitimate buck, flies in the face of everything that people in the surrounding counties, the white and the black bougies, etc., who come to Baltimore City, it flies in the face of everything that they're taught to believe about these kids. That these kids are predators. They're super predators. They need to be brought to heel. Well, when you see the kids out there sweating it out in hot temperatures, trying to clean people's windshields, how does that argument even stand up? And even in spite of the children's efforts, just their presence is criminalized. Y'all can't stand on these corners. Don't they fucking live here? Why the fuck can't they stand out here and sell their little waters and do something to bring some sort of resources into the home? That's basically all this is, y'all. These kids are not just out here hustling for sneaker money. They are hustling to help their households, to help feed their families, literally, to help keep lights on, to keep water on. And the city does nothing but punish them for existing and criminalizing their efforts, non-criminal efforts, or non-harmful efforts. Let me say that. They're not dealing drugs. They're not out here robbing people. But even still, their non-harmful efforts are criminalized. Please keep watching this space because I'm going to keep you guys updated about the outcome of this trial. This is a very, very important trial for all of us to pay attention to. It touches on so many things, whether or not Black people have a right to self-defense, whether or not children have a right to defend themselves from adults when they are being physically attacked, and why 14-year-olds are charged as adults and charged with first-degree murder. A shameful display by the Baltimore State's Attorney's Office. And did I come back and harp on that piece of report? The fact that the State's Attorney's Office was asking for a postponement in this trial because of an evidentiary mishap that was WYPR's framing. What the fuck does that mean? An evidentiary mishap? That sounds like y'all ain't got y'all shit together. And because of what we saw happened to Keith Davis Jr., we know that that office in particular, the Baltimore State's Attorney's Office, routinely does not have their shit together and will routinely take people to trial with flimsy evidence, shaky witnesses, and just tomfoolery of lawyering. I have a feeling the state's attorney's office is about to get embarrassed. Y'all, we're going to pray for this child to get acquitted. We want this kid acquitted. I don't want him to plead down. I don't want him to plead guilty to first-degree manslaughter. Fuck all that shit. This child is innocent of first-degree murder. He is innocent of first-degree murder. He does not deserve to go to jail. Period, point blank. Let me take a quick break. What's up, Tasia? What's up, baby girl? Baby girl. Good to see you in here, Tasia. You guys are some of my favorite. What's up? I know Jazzy Poo is not in here, but Jazzy Poo always comments under my video. Thank you, Jazzy Poo. What's up, Yippin' Who else is this? Who else we got in here? Oh, what's up, Lady Alex? Thank you so much for coming through. Peace, Nawadi. I'm glad to see y'all in here. You know y'all my faves. Y'all my faves. I love y'all. Everybody's my fucking favorite. Shout out to my girl Court. I know Court's not with us tonight, but we are always sending love and thinking about Courtney. What's up, Donnie? Thank you so much for being here. Willard, if you could, pop up the abortion fund, please. Again, we just do what we can here from a little corner of the planet. So, abortion. It's a terrible thing. Did y'all see fucking DeSantis? Ron DeSantis said that should he be elected president, he would be happy to sign some pro-life legal federal laws into place, including a 6-week ban on abortion federally. These motherfuckers are not being subtle. These people are blatantly showing their hands, okay? We got to stop them at every turn, but in the interim, we got to help our folks that need assistance immediately. And that is where the All Options Hoosier Abortion Fund comes in. In Indiana, they have a fucked up abortion law. Don't ask me what it is. Just know that it's fucked up. All these abortion bans are fucked up. And they all have their own special brand of fucked upness. So Indiana's brand of fucked upness is bad. And that's why we're supporting the All Options Hoosier Abortion Fund. Each and every month, Burn It Down with Kim Brown as a channel supports these abortion funds with $50. We ask our folks, our Fire Fam, to match us if you can, $5. If you click on the chat box at the top of the chat and go to our link tree, you will find a link directly taking you to the All Options Hoosier Abortion Fund. You can donate to them directly. You can also run us, what's this shit called? Super chats or hit us on Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. And just tell us it's for the abortion fund, Kim. And again, I will pool all said monies at the end of the month and send it to the All Options Hoosier Abortion Fund. I appreciate all the support you all have been running these different abortion funds that we have been featuring from across the country ever since the Dobbs decision came down last year. It has meant a slippery slope for women's health care, okay? Not just access to abortion care, but all kinds of gynecological, histological, all the lady parts care. It's been suffering. It's been suffering. So help us out. What's up, Shirley? We love you, Shirley. Girl, a madness. The All Options Hoosier Abortion Fund, please, and thank you. My next story that I want to get to, and guys, I'm gonna get through this quick. I'm gonna turn y'all loose. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. I'm so terrible at telling y'all to do that. It's whatever at this point. Y'all are here. Y'all are subscribe. Whatever. It's all good. Where am I here? July 18th. That is correct. I'm in the right place at the dock. So the issue of climate catastrophe, gang, continues to show us that it's not slowing down. In fact, it's speeding up. And not only are we experiencing this here in the US, but Europe also getting baked. Damien, what's going on in the UK? Woo! Them whites are not used to that shit. The white people melting all over Europe. I mean, and I'm not trying to be flippant because I know people are actually dying, but the people from the Caucasus Mountains are not prepared. They are not prepared for this shit because this is that real deal. What did they say? I saw someone somewhere doing a story about how this heat storm swelled up from the Sahara and is now gripping southern Europe. I said, y'all just blaming everything on Africa. It's Africa fault, huh? Now we got a big ass heat dome gripping Europe by its throat. That's Africa fault, huh? I got it. I got it. All right, where am I going here? Will, if you could pop up that first. Oh, where should I go here? My apologies. Huh. Let's go to that first article about Skid Row in Los Angeles because temperatures have been soaring. Wait a minute. I'm sorry, Will. My apologies. I got a little bit. I confused myself on my doc here. Where am I going? Yes. Okay. Okay. Let's go to that article. There we go. Because what is interesting in the public policy response to all these soaring temperatures, it's not a revisiting on our use of fossil fuels and the way that we are still creating pipelines in this country. We're still drilling for oil in this country. We're still fracking in this country, all things that contribute to climate change. But the ways in which cities are responding and just policymakers in general are responding is falling way short on the job, especially to those that are the most vulnerable. And we're talking about the unhoused and the elderly. Okay. It says as the heat wave smothers LA, Skid Row has only one cooling station. Now, Los Angeles Skid Row is infamous for being a place where unhoused people congregate by the hundreds, sometimes even by the thousands, depending on the conditions. And it says confusion and disappointment reigned last summer when the number of stations was cut in half. Cooling stations, everybody. And you're not going to find many cooling stations in places where the unhoused community tends to congregate or where they are most likely to be found. In fact, the fact that there was only one cooling station in Skid Row is beyond shameful. And in fact, it should be criminal. I've seen videos of people passing out frozen waters. And obviously, heat kills more people in terms of climate change, climate disasters than any other, more so than drought, more so than hurricane or typhoon. It's heat, heat. And of course, in addition to the people, I'm thinking about the animals. A lot of unhoused people keep pets, they keep dogs specifically. In addition to the people suffering, without question, the animals are suffering, right? So we have cooling stations being cut in half in Los Angeles, only one found in one of the highest congregated areas for unhoused on Skid Row. And I want us to take a look at one issue pertaining public transportation that could, in fact, be a benefit to unhoused people, well, people across the board, but specifically unhoused people and people who do not have vehicles themselves and who are finding themselves out in this ungodly heat where temperatures of 100 plus have been sustained now for a couple of weeks. This TikTok account focuses on the issues of the unhoused in Austin, Texas. And one of the policy changes that they have been pushing for is making specifically the public buses, the public transport buses in Austin free. So people can not only ride for free, get on air conditioned buses, get some respite from the heat, but because of the way that the cooling stations are set up in Austin, they are pretty much unwalkable from one place to the next. And I just want us to take a look at the way that this TikTok account, and I'll come back and credit them when I return. But I was pretty keen on the way that this person broke this down as it pertains to where the cooling stations are located, the distance in between the cooling stations, and the actual trek it would require for an unhoused person walking in triple digit heat to get to a cooling station from where they are. Let's take a look.
Hey y'all, wanted to hop on here to make a little video about why we've been so vocal about people in Austin getting free bus passes. So what you're looking at here is a map of Austin that has all the cooling shelters for unhoused people, or really anyone that wants to get out of the heat, highlighted. And in particular, I've also highlighted the area affected by Prop B. So this is an area that you really just you can't sleep in, lie down in, or be hanging out outside, just sitting around for extended periods of time. The effect of this then is a lot of people have been pushed out from the city center, and they really can't go immediately east, northwest, or south, just in this immediate vicinity, because as you probably know, if you're familiar with Austin, this is suburbs, right? You can't really just lie down and sleep in someone's yard. So you're probably going to go farther out. And as you do that, and if you look at this map where the cooling centers are, the cooling centers get a lot more sparsely populated. Right here. So, just to give you a sense of the scale here, the distance between this cooling center and that cooling center is about 4 miles, okay? So, that's kind of the scale that you're working with here. That's already an hour and a half walk just from there to there on this map. Now, where might you actually be day to day if you're in Austin and you're an unhoused person and you need to, find somewhere to camp? So, one place you might end up is you might end up around Roy G. That's a pretty big green space down here. So if you're in this area, the closest two cooling centers to you, there's a library right here and there's a rec center right here. And that's nice that it's so close, but the libraries are just closed on Sundays, for one. And the rec centers are open on Sundays, but that one's only open till 4, and on Saturdays it's only open till 2. So let's say you wanted to go somewhere a little bit farther away. Well, this stuff up here that you're looking at, these are going to be libraries. So the closest thing to you is probably going to be this South Rec Center over here. So let's look at maybe over Google Maps, how long it takes to get from Roy G over to that rec center. So let's do Roy G Guerrero Park. And let's get some directions from there to the South Austin Rec Center. Okay. So first of all, even by bus, that's an hour. If you're walking, you're looking at an hour and 45 minutes, probably, something like that. Yeah, that's pretty far away. And the other thing I want to note here is let's go ahead and look at the conditions for someone who's walking. So, this is the road you would have been going down. Let's go ahead and look at the street. So, I want to point out a few things about the street as we're looking at this. And this is something you might be aware of if you're in Austin and you bike or you walk around a lot. Very little tree coverage, okay? It's just kind of a big, concrete, piece of road. That makes a really big difference when you're walking around in, 98, 99, 100, 102, 104 degree heat, right? And you're in direct sunlight is another thing. And on top of that, you might have to carry things with you. I can imagine that most of you wouldn't want to do this walk, if you had some hiking shorts on and sunscreen. Imagine you don't have those things available to you, and you have to carry your belongings with you. So this is why we've been so vocal about this, because the
reality is that people are dying. They are dying right now. They are dying from a combination of climate catastrophe.
It's just that without even having access to the buses.
What happened there? What was that? The man came back. He has some more to say. Is there some more to that clip? Well,
you are in
is there more? Okay, I'm gonna talk now. I'm gonna say something.
Such a bad position for getting around all.
What's going on?
My bad, my computer.
Austin, and you are so far away from a lot of the resources. And this is just the cooling centers.
Killing me, Smalls. You want to fight?
Yeah.
All right. Meet me outside. I'm about to pull up.
All right, cool.
All right.
No, my computer is exported and it's messing with the rest of my stuff. And yeah, so it's gonna be done. So I got that clip too ready too. That other clip we was talking about.
Oh, the Deutsche Welle clip.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you. Okay,
yeah.
you let me know when it's safe to play it. Tell me when it's safe to play it. Let me say something about what the white man said, and I'll
Go
come
ahead.
back. All
It's
right.
I think it's over. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
My bad.
The white man said I
Not to
was
mention the
not.
fact that there's a lot of stuff you might need if you're an unhoused person that is only available in this downtown region. So you might be forced to come out here from Roy G, or even like farther away. You know, you might be near the little Walnut Greenbelt section, kind of like up here in northeast Austin. Maybe you're farther away in like this part of East Austin, or down like south somewhere else. But the point is, like, you're pretty far away from your resources by like a margin that most people would not ever want to walk, let alone someone that has a bunch of belongings to carry with them.
I'm just getting talked over by men left and right. Men is not even present. Oh, Kim is talking. Oh, let me get in here. So anyway, excellent information. Let me find this man because this man says some quality shit on TikTok. And let me tell y'all, I don't care for TikTok. I am not finding a bunch of quality shit on TikTok, but I was happy to see. I said, you better go, sir, with your analysis. But no, I mean, peep that though, y'all. Everything that he's saying is 100% legit, and it just goes to show you the absolute disregard that America, capitalism, our society has for people who are unhoused. It's like, well, if he dies, he dies. Really? Is that how it goes? With more and more people facing unhousedness at this present time, it's just like, oh, well, it's a fuck them. Shit. Anyway, I'm sorry. Um, what's your town doing for the unhoused? Something? Nothing? Anything? I want us to take a listen to this piece from Deutsche Welle. And they're talking about the way the heat wave is gripping Europe. But I want you to notice what the reporter does not mention. What they do not mention is potentially part of the solutions to how Europeans, in particular, Jesus, the euros are melting. How the Europeans specifically are going to combat climate change? Will are we sure? Are we sure that Joan is cool? Go ahead and run it if it's cool.
Heat wave in Southern Europe, including in Italy, where I currently am. But how deadly is extreme heat? Well, last year, summer temperatures killed nearly 62,000 Europeans between late May and September, according to a new study by public health experts. The highest number was recorded here in Italy, with over 18,000 heat-related deaths, followed by Spain and Germany. Extreme temperatures can kill by causing a heat stroke or by worsening pre-existing cardiovascular or respiratory diseases. The study found that the hardest hit were elderly women, with the toll increasing significantly for people over 65. So what about this summer? Experts say it's likely to get even hotter, and so potentially even more deadly. So far, the season has already broken records, with the hottest June and the hottest week ever recorded at the beginning of July. Global warming is causing temperatures to rise worldwide, but in Europe they have risen nearly twice as fast as the global average. Experts say EU governments urgently need to step up their heat prevention and adaptation strategies to protect those at risk. That includes, for example, improving communication about heat waves and increasing access to air conditioning. Failing to do so could lead to 100,000 premature deaths related to heat by mid-century.
I didn't hear anything about changing the ways in which Europe consumes fossil fuels. You know, the thing that's driving climate change. Like, it's not like the sun is positioned at a 45-degree angle in the Tropic of Capricorn, and then that's why we're experiencing these record temperatures. We are experiencing this based off man-made behaviors, right? And I'm sorry that so many people continue to die. But another interesting thing she said in that package is that global temperatures have been rising, but they rose twice as fast in Europe. Y'all, Europeans didn't see that one coming when they was capitalism all over the fucking place. Oh, you didn't think? Oh, it was fine when the sea level was rising on the island people and Central Africa and the equatorial countries in the global south are being baked by routine triple digit heat for some climate shit that they didn't contribute to, not to the extent that the West has. And now that Europe's temperatures are rising at twice the pace, whoop, plot twist, plot twist. You better get your shit together now, huh? But apparently not, because they're still accepting oil, fossil fuels, liquid natural gas, or was it liquefied natural gas, the LNG gas? Yep. There is no indications that capitalism is about to slow down on these fossil fuels. All these little bullshit piecemeal eco-friendly laws. Oh, we're going to phase out gasoline powered cars by 2030. We're going to have all electric vehicles. Baby, the die has already been cast. All this shit that you projecting, we're going to have this shit phased out and new shit phased in by 2030. Bitch, do you know where this shit's going to be by 2030? Can you imagine? If this is what it is in 2023, what you think 7 years from now look like? Worser, as grandma say. It look worser. It look way worser. So this is what we need to do, you guys. Like, for those who organize, and maybe folks are already doing this, I'm going to assume they are, because I am not an organization. I do not fully know what the organizations do until they tell me. I do not know what's going on. What's up, James? But we have to be preparing our folks, our community for this, as much as it is imperative that we try to organize against police brutality, for redistribution of resources. Like, we literally are going to have to survive the planet. We're going to have to survive the planet. And what that looks like, it's got to be a assessment of, can we figure out how to provide water for people? Can we figure out what to do and to provide housing? But is it going to be the kind of housing where people can actually live in? Because a majority of the people that die, I believe this was out of Phoenix, and I read the piece and I can't call which piece it was, but the folks that died last year from being unhoused in the city of Phoenix last year, I think 60% of them were unhoused, living on the streets, and 40% of them were people who actually had a place to stay, who actually lived indoors, but they lived in a place that did not have adequate air conditioning, or the places were not cooled in such a way that it prevented their death. I mean, people are dying literally inside and outside as a result of this heat. And now we're not going to be able to stop the heat, unfortunately. So how are we going to survive the heat? Well, unfortunately, this is a multi-pronged battle that we have to face. Like, we have to make these fossil fuels stop somehow. And I don't know how, but we also have to figure out how we're going to survive this. And we have to make sure that people who require medication, people who require medical assistance, that these folks are going to be adequately taken care of. What's going on with your Infinite Content? Thank you so much for your super chat support. Infinite says, in related news, Brazilian President Lula da Silva stated that he's passed some policies to stop the deforestation in the Amazon in his nation. Thank you for bringing that up, Infinite Content, because I even think global satellite mapping has shown that since Lula has taken office, the deforestation of the Amazon has either slowed considerably, or I don't know if it stopped altogether, but there has been a difference noticed since he took office. But all that needs to happen down in Brazil is for some another fucking Bolsonaro, another Brazilian Trump to rise, and they be back to cutting the Amazon down again, you guys. This is why the battle for Cop City is one more than just to stop the construction of this public safety training facility. No, it is literally to protect the forest. What have the temperatures been like in Georgia, everybody? Balls fucking hot? Yeah. You want to cut down 300 acres of trees, of canopy, of old growth trees? You want to cut that down so cops can train in this heat? Everybody get armed, get strapped, because it's not going to be a bloodless fight, everybody. One last thing I wanted to show you. Will, if you could pop up that New York Times tweet. So I love animals. I love fucking animal life and all that. I hate watching shows about animals on TV these days. Like, oh, let's take a look at the tigers. Oh, and here's Susan. They always name the tigers like a fucking human name. And here's Susan, the tiger. Oh, but Susan's having problems because her her food source is depleted and Susan is starving and Susan's cubs won't survive. Jesus, I don't need these kinds of updates for fuck's sake. But we need to know that as bad as humanity and especially the poors like we, right? Well, not quite. Well, some yeah. Anyway, y'all know we not rich. We the have nots, I suppose, to some extent. There are more have nots than we, of course, but it is not just humanity that's taking L's in this. Okay, take a look at this tweet from the New York Times. It says Florida's coral reefs are facing what could be an unprecedented threat from marine. Yes, from marine heating. From the marine heat wave that is warming the Gulf of Mexico. And this also impacts animal behavior. It says that the warming is easily the daily average surface temperature of the Florida Keys on Monday was recorded. Does that say 90 degrees in the ocean? No. Yes. 90 degrees in the water? The ocean was 90 degrees. Now I have to, am I reading that wrong? I might be. No, I'm not reading it wrong. It said that the average surface temperature, okay, surface temperature, not the fucking ocean, Jesus. The surface temperature of the Florida Keys on Monday was just over 90 degrees, which is the hottest on record. Maybe they mean the surface of the ocean? I'm not clear on that. But you see look at the image there. Look at how hot the water is. So around this time, I believe that a certain species of sharks travels to the Gulf waters, to the waters off of the coast of Florida for mating. But because the waters have been so hot, this shark species has been driven northward. And where are you guys hearing about more shark bites? I'm sorry, did you say off the coast of Long Island? did you say off the coast of Massachusetts? Motherfuckers is getting their asses bit by sharks. Why? Because the sharks said we can't kick it in Florida anymore. The block is too hot. I gotta go. I'm getting off the phone. I am getting off the phone. But here's what you can do, guys. Seriously. Even if you are not able, if you don't have the capacity or ability or the time or the energy, which is completely understandable, if you can't go out on the streets, you can take that down, Will, and help out the unhoused community. Try to find on the ground organizations where you are. Here in DC, there is one called the Remora House, Remora House DC, that does tremendous outreach and support for the unhoused. In Los Angeles, you can reach out to K Town for All. Like, these people are putting feet to the ground and going out seeking out unhoused people who need assistance, and they are doing that. So if you are able to drop these people a couple dollars so they can pick up some cases of water, please try to do that. Please try to do that. A seafood boiled, James. It's so sad. It's so sad. It's so sad. And it's happened so fast. It has happened so quickly, you guys. And I'm just very concerned for all these 2030 goals. Oh, by 2045, we would have been, bitch, do you know what the fuck this is going to look like in 2045? You think we got time to be implementing policies that don't take effect till 2045? No. No. All right, gang. You guys be easy out here. I love y'all to pieces. Don't forget to support the channel. Thank you, Infinite Content, for your super chat support. Shout out to Emily. Emily, I think you ran us a super chat last show or last week, and I didn't catch it in the in the immediacy. So thank you so much for that. If you want to support the channel, you can do so. Cash App, $ BIDWKB, Venmo at BIDWKB, PayPal.me/BIDWKB. or super chat the channel or become a member or patreon.com/BIDWKB. I really appreciate you all showing up. Thank you guys so much. Please don't forget to join me tomorrow morning for the Remix Morning Show. Black Power Media, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. It's usually a good time had by all. What's going on in the chat over there, y'all? What the fuck is happening? James, I need you to get a little better control of the situation over there, James. What the fuck? I think no, I'm so happy you and Imani are mods. I was like, I said, look at they giving my niggas jobs. I love it. But no, the shit is fucking crazy. Is that Shades? No, I didn't see Shades. Oh, but guys, I want you guys to send some positive energy going out to Shades. Shades just needs some positive vibrations. And if you've been part of the Fire Fam, you know who Shades is. So send Shades some love, okay? They absolutely could use it and would appreciate it. James, what's going on? James, you gotta tighten up over there. It's a little lax. But anyway, I'm just fucking with y'all. I see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good one. Hey, Will, should we make your announcement or should we wait till contracts are signed? Should we wait before we before we start?
Let that ink dry, G. Hold on, yeah.
Let me pump my brakes.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay. Yes. Well, Will's got some good shit in the pipe. So we'll wait till that shit comes out the pipe. And we'll tell y'all about it. But anyway, guys, on behalf of Will and Molly, thank you all so much for being here. I love y'all to pieces. See you later. Bye-bye.